Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you our living room makeover. So this is a project that we've been working on for a little while now in dribs and drabs, but we're about 95% complete, and I thought now's as good a time as any to show you what we've been up to. So let's start with a look at the before. So as you can see when you walk into the room, we've got a living room slash dining room, and it's divided in the middle by this archway with sort of windows on either side. If you move around to the left of the room, you can see we've got a nice log burner, a nice mantelpiece, some shelves, and this side of the room really doesn't need much work at all. But if you move around to the right hand side of the room, you can see it is very plain. So the walls are all magnolia. The only furniture we have at the moment is our sofa and our log side tables that we made. There's no soft furnishings, no artwork or anything like that. So we definitely need to spruce up this end. Then if we move down to the dining room end, you can see the theme follows through. It's all very plain, all very magnolia. We have our dining table in the middle, which we want to keep, but we also have this sort of desk space on the side. We want to keep it as a desk space, but the desk that we have at the moment is quite clunky and doesn't really maximise the space. So our first step was to decide on a colour scheme. Now the living room end really doesn't have any natural light, so it's quite a dark room. So we wanted to keep it nice and bright and quite neutral up this end, and then introduce some colour down at the dining room end where we've got a lot more natural light coming in. So we decided to go with Dulux Timeless on the walls in the living room end, and then in the dining room end introduce colour onto two of the walls, and we went with Dulux Denim Drift. So sticking at the dining room end, we decided to replace our old clunky desk with something a little bit more streamlined that looks a little bit built into the room. So we bought 3 IKEA Besta units and assembled them, and then used some wood battens to create a bit of a country farmhouse feel on the front, and painted them in the same blue colour to match the wall behind. We then bought some oak worktops and cut them to size to fit perfectly into the gap and placed them on top of the units. We stained them in a medium oak colour to match our dining table. We then moved on to the window dressings. So for the window above the desk, we simply removed the curtains and replaced them with a nice thick wooden slatted blind. The French doors at the back of the house actually had some inbuilt vertical blinds. They were ugly, but they are very useful, so we decided to keep them, but then to cover them up with a voile and curtain combination. So we went with a white voile with light bluey grey pom-poms all over it to bring in some more colour, and a dark grey heavy curtain with a little bit of a hint of blue. So heading down back to the living room end, we wanted somewhere to store all of our children's toys. We've got 2 kids under 2 and they have a lot of stuff. So we searched around Facebook and we managed to find a bookshelf for £40. This is a nice solid oak one, so we got a bit of a bargain. So we pulled this into a corner and then rolled out a nice soft rug in front of it and purchased some nice child-friendly storage baskets. We went for white ones with grey stars on. So they have a little bit of a child element, but they're not too in your face in the living room. Then we simply had to fill these with the toys. So to bring in some colour above the sofa and to fill up that big blank wall, we invested in 3 large prints. So we got these whilst we was on a trip down in Cornwall from a shop called Whistlefish, and we've got 3 pictures of beaches that we really enjoy visiting. So the room is actually quite wide, so there was quite a bit of a space between the left hand side and the right hand side of the room. So to bring it all together and to make it feel really cosy, we invested in a really large rug. So we went with a cream rug with a light grey pattern on it, which also lightened up this end of the room. Then to fill that space, we made our own DIY ottoman. So we started off by building a frame out of some old scraps of wood that we had around the garden, and then we covered this with wadding and with our chosen fabric. We went with a nice light blue colour. Then we grabbed a big chunky piece of foam, attached it to a board and did the same thing again, and covered it with wadding and covered it with fabric. Then all that was left to do was to add some furniture legs. So next I moved on to soft furnishings. So I started with a nice big warm fluffy throw to go over the sofa, and then introduced some pops of colour with a range of cushions. So some nice blue velvet cushions, some blue patterned cushions, some more neutral cushions, and an extra little pink cushion just to throw in a little bit more colour. Then all that was left to do was some finishing touches. So I started off by bringing in a whole host of plants in different coloured plant pots to bring in a little bit more life to the room. I then moved on to lighting with a floor standing lamp and a smaller lamp on top of the bookcase with the toys on. I added some pictures and some candles just to make it feel more homely, and then moved over to styling the shelves and the mantelpiece. And that was it, the room was complete. Let's take a look. Enjoyed this video and it gives you some inspiration of what you can do in your space at home. If you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up and hit the big red subscribe button if you want to see more of my content. I upload twice a week, so hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye!